Here with our first lady of sports talk. It has been an exciting week. We got the one and, as I said, we got the one and only first lady of sports talk, Cheryl Smith. We got CJ out of Chi-Town. Now we working on her technology to make sure that cause she up there in Chi-Town and she been getting that Midwest point of view. We got the Shimmy Shake girls. Now we want you to check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring Royal Ruckus, where they find their shining star, or get the cold feel of the mute button. But first, it's time for our old school giggle. Now, warning, mature audiences, because we got Richard Pryor. So, all right, we just had to give you the warning, so you might want to cover the little kitty's ears, but let's rock with our morning giggle.
White folks do things a lot different than niggas. They eat quiet and shit. You be able to be.
Pass the potatoes. Thank you, darling. Could I have a bit of that sauce? How are the kids coming along with their studies? Think we'll be having sexual intercourse this evening? We're not? Well, what the heck?
Black families be different and have more rhythm. Shit, my father, when we ate, it was fun because he made noise and shit. Hey, Rich, where the food? Goddamn, mama, come on. Shit. Oh, you motherfucker, you shit. Oh, goddamn it. It's past shit, nigga. Kiss my ass. Better get that meat down that bone, motherfucker. What you think you're doing? Shit. Right? And I got an auntie, man. My Aunt Mancine, man, can suck a neck bone. Is a work of art. I mean, she can fuck with a neck bone, bro. She'd be all in and get that white shit out of the stomach. Throw it to the dog. The dog look at it like, what am I supposed to do with that motherfucker?
All right, that was our morning giggle. First lady, we're ready for what you saying.
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Gargon have flown the coop during the free agency, but maybe more importantly, their former quarterback is chirping to the owner, Dan Snyder. He wants to fly like an eagle and get the hell out of D.C. Did we ask who had the worst ownership? Was it the Knicks versus Washington? It looks like it should be. Kirk Cousins has agreed to sign his tender offer after being hit with the franchise tag. But why should Washington want to keep a player at their most important position who is going to fly out of there faster than a big old jetliner as soon as he gets a chance? To pour salt into the wound, they had to fire the GM. Should Washington fans get ready for 10 more years of wandering through the NFL desert? Doug Williams, Joe Theismann, John Riggins, the Hogs and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? I mean, there is more problems in D.C. We all thought Donald Trump had some problems, but the Redskins are a hot mess. I mean, Washington's GM did not lock up their quarterback to a long-term contract. This was the issue with McLaughlin. He never considered Cousins to be a franchise quarterback and their quarterback of the future, so they kept applying the franchise tag to see if maybe one day he will be great. But Cousins said he's tired of this nonsense. He needs a contract. That's why he went to Dan Snyder. Now, I don't know what's up with Washington, because who else is out there? Jay Cutler? I mean, really, Jay Cutler. I mean, there is no secret that the GM is having problems, and he had trouble past. I mean, he was fired by the 49ers to Seattle. Supposedly, he has a drinking problem. I guess he fell off the wagon and wasn't doing his job. So the Redskins, supposedly now I learned that the Redskins never contacted Pierre Gargon's agent to discuss the contract. That's ridiculous. They didn't even give the man a call. I mean, this is ridiculous. But so, I mean, Bruce Allen, who is the president of the Washington team, he's the one who fired McLaughlin. But many players felt that they didn't like the way he handled the situation. As a matter of fact, Kirk Cousins doesn't like this man. Everybody said he is Mr. Teflon. He seems to always absolve himself from having any problems with the Washington. I mean, he is the president, so to me, the buck stops with him just as much as the buck stops with Dan Snyder. So Kirk Cousins said he's not signing a long-term contract with the Washington team if this Bruce Allen is still with the team. So the Washington team, they really have they have a lot of going on. They're struggling. They're dysfunctional. They got to find a new GM. I mean, they got to build some stability with this organization. I don't know. It almost sounds like the New York Knicks, but I don't care what anybody says. The Knicks are still a worse organization as long as Phil Jackson is still there. So, I mean, I don't care. I mean, the Washington team there, they got some major problems, but not as bad as the Knicks. So, Spitface, I mean, what do you think is going on with this DC team? I mean, they got a lot of problems.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know what is worse, the Washington Redskins or the health care plan that the released. I just don't know. I'm looking at both of them, and I'm going, but I am just amazed that with all the billionaires in the world, that, and billionaires got ego. You don't, I mean, there's some billionaires, they inherited wealth. But if you one of them billionaires who, you might have had some wealth, but you didn't have, like, billionaire wealth, so you had to, actually get out there and, open up some companies, do some things, and become a billionaire. Now, you got a big ego because you done the thing. And I just don't understand why one of these billionaires don't say, look, let me buy the Knicks. I can run it better than him. Or let me buy Washington. I can run it better than him. Just as an ego thing, And guess what? If they just buy it, the teams done got better immediately. Before they even hire nobody, the teams have gotten better. And but it really tells you something. Now I get that Kirk Cousins wanted to, ease on up out of there because his man Kyle Shanahan is, the main big dog over there in San Francisco, and he was looking for a little West Coast action. But it does tell you something that. Here you are, you're a winning quarterback. You getting, franchise tag ain't no chump change. And you can demand, not demand, you command franchise QB money, and you want to get out of town. Now, something say it's a whole lot going wrong with the Redskins. It's more than somebody with a drinking problem. Now you ain't laying that at the feet of one. Well, see, he had to drink it. That's what did. No. You got some other players on the in this scenario in management. And so it go deeper, far deeper. I mean, to unravel the level of ineptitude, it's going to be like they're going to have to do one of them 9/11 commissions, like they're going to need to find out what's been going on with the Ruskies. But it'd be cheaper for them to just for one of them billionaires to say, let me take this, off his hands. Now, I don't know. We still, firstly, we still working on that technology for CJ.
CJ still having issues getting in. All right. That's okay. We'll hold the fort down.
Somehow or another, her sound is looks like it's muted, so we can't pick up. I do apologize. I hope she, as soon as she can get in, blurt out something. We will,
Give us a sign. Give us a sign.
Yeah, give us a shout out here, But we will find out here.
Yeah.
We got to get this technology rolling.
All right. Well, over to you.
All right. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare. You better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest. That all gets sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. We are not talking about Lindsey Vonn, Julia Mancuso, or Anna Vinegar. We are talking about the outpunch the New York Giants have put together with the addition of Brandon Marshall. Should this be considered a knockout or a 1-2 punch? If Eli can't perform with Odell and Brandon, is it time to move on from the Manning dynasty and lure Jimmy Garoppolo from the Patriots next season? Given that nothing has changed in Dallas, does this move really help them or simply stave off the inevitable departure of a 2-time Super Bowl winner? Peyton Manning, Warren Moon, and Brett Favre are asking, what you say? First Lady, I'm going to put it like this. If the New York Giants don't go deep in the playoffs, it's time to get rid of Eli. It is. I don't care if he has a record season. It is time to get rid of Eli. Now, if you can't go deep in the playoffs and you got Odell and Brandon, who I put it like this: Brandon got a lot of gas in that tank. He gonna make some plays for you because the story ain't gonna be the defense was so woeful that all the points that they scored. I don't think that's gonna happen. Now it's gonna be tough because Dallas. Dallas had it looks like they got all they need to to march on down again. Now they got a little more experience, so it's going to be tough. But that don't mean that the Giants shouldn't be, because who else in the division making some noise? I mean, Philly, hey, they were looking mean, but they still they got a quarterback who's going to go into the sophomore year, so now that they got some tape on that boy, it ain't going to be the same. But you got Odell Beckham. You got Brandon Marshall, any type of decent running game, just decent. And not to count, you got other folks on there that okay, Eli. Now if he ain't all crazy, throwing the ball everywhere but where it needs to go, they have a good chance to compete heavy in that division. But either way, go deep in the playoffs. But if it don't go, it's time to move on. When was the last time Eli really moved them forward? And I can't lay it all at his feet, but he's the quarterback. First Lady, over to you.
He's the quarterback. Okay, he's the quarterback. But, I mean, yeah, you're right. Adding Brandon Marshall is a no-brainer. Because now it's going to be hard for teams to double team Odell Beckham, and you forgot about they have a trio. They got Sterling Shepard. He's a good wide receiver also, But there's one thing you forgot, Spitface. Eli is not going to be the problem. The problem is going to be the Giants' offensive line. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. That's the reason why Eli was always trying to he always was getting sacked. Let's face it, he was always on his behind. But let's just say that they do something with their offensive line. They were able to get some key free agent science, which they haven't thus far. But if they do, and they beef up their offensive line, then yeah, you're right. If Eli can't win with the trio wide receivers that he has, yeah, it is time for him to go. But like I said, that offensive line is so poor, it doesn't matter if they add Julio Jones to the mix. They just got to fix the offensive line. And, the Giants will, to me, if they can do all that, the Giants will definitely give the Cowboys some competition to win that NFL East division. And you're right, there is nobody else other than the Giants and the Giants and the Cowboys. Now the Eagles, they if I'm not mistaken, I think they signed Jeffrey Alshon Jeffrey. So they definitely, hopefully, would get Carson Wentz some playmakers so he can do well with the Eagles. So I'm not going to count the Eagles out. They can get some more firepower in their wide receiver core. But it's just a thing with Eli. Eli's been around a long time. He's been around a long time, but he just needs to have a fantastic year because they've been in, the Giants, they haven't made it to, did they make it to the playoffs this past season? No, I don't think, did they? I don't even remember if they, I can't remember right now. It seems like the NFL season's been so long away. But the Giants definitely need to do better, and Eli, the clock is ticking for Eli. And the Giants definitely need to consider looking for the future. We hate to say it, the Mannings, same thing happened with Peyton. His time came, and when his time came, he just fell off the map. So we don't need to see if Eli is going to have the same issue. But this will be the test for him because there will be no excuse if they can get that offensive line fixed. No excuse whatsoever.
Yeah, Eli's last gasp to get to up his brother one more time. Mm. This is his last gasp. First lady, take us to break.
The first two listeners to email us or send a shout-out why the three ladies are grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our partners at NFLShop.com and a $25 gift card from our new partners, Victoria's Secrets. Now, your hint is think about snow. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Royal Ruckus on the first part of Shout Out.
It will be a ruckus.
CJ! Free CJ!
Free CJ! Music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. And First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Royal Ruckus, but we finally got CJ connected up. It has the technology gotten taken care of. CJ, are you there, girl?
I'm here.
All right, that's good. It's nice hearing your little voice and everything. And, I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of y'all, write in and say, how can I handle being around two fine women? And, I'm going to tell you, sometimes I have to put on my dark glasses so I can't see. I'm going to tell you, that's the number one. And I put it like this. My eyeballs, my eyeball muscles, it's a workout to keep them above the neck. Hey, now every now and then I do slip.
But you're human.
Just every now and then.
Every now.
But First Lady, Royal Ruckus.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today, we have Royal Ruckus with their album, The Summer of the CCLXXIV. Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong.
That would be cicadas. They done them big grasshopper looking things.
Oh, cicadas.
In the trees.
Well, we don't have any cicadas in Miami, so I don't know what
y'all in Florida. Y'all ain't got no cicadas in Florida.
We got locusts, right? Like I said, those are
y'all got locusts. Y'all got biblical stuff happening in Florida. Okay.
All right, CJ, let's hear "Burn It to the Ground." All right.
All right.
Pull out the matchbook and grab the gas can. Change your outlook, this is your last stand. Rearrange the things to take the flight of hand. Burn it to the ground is next on the plan. Pull out the matchbook and grab the gas can. Change your outlook, this is your last stand. Rearrange the things to take the flight of hand. Burn it to the ground is next on the plan. Seriously, Harry, we gotta burn this all down. Way too many things that need to meet the ground. Heaven straight the pavement like a homie man child. Don't care if I revolve, blessed to be the one in exile. Call me after nation, it's me against the world. Not hitting that temptation and I'm coming to pearl. We whine about a girl, now I'm just walking away. There is a silver lining, I'm sure we'll see the day. Are you Yoko Ono? Cause you broke up the band. Got me drinking like a hobo eating fish out of a can. So I trust you'll understand when I light up the whole area. Pushing for purity like beer in Bavaria. I've made some poor choices and I'm burning them all up. Can't let them mess the find me so much more like a tune-up. Confess they got divine peace, sort of a clean up. Burn the whole thing down before a big build up. Pull out the matchbook and grab the gas can. Change your outlook, this is your last stand. Rearrange the things to take the flight of hand. Burn it to the ground is next on the plan. Pull out the matchbook and grab the gas can. Change your outlook, this is your last stand. Rearrange the things to take the flight of hand. Burn it to the ground is next on the plan.
For the matchbook on how the past looks and all the feelings that I never let show. They told me move on to write a new song and burn it down, but it's hard to let go. Living in these memories on a loop, playing every day. Everything that happened was probably my fault anyway. The mirror's full of fingers pointing all that I felt. Forgive and forget. The problem is forgiving yourself. Scrolling through the pictures on my phone like a prison. The trash can begging to eat them and start living. My pride is to keep crawling, I've been playing it cool. Plus every time I pull my lighter out, it ran out of fuel.
Pull out the matchbook and grab the gas can. Change your outlook, this is your last stand. Rearrange the things to take the flight of hand. Burn it to the ground is next on the plan. Pull out the matchbook and grab the gas can. Change your outlook, this is your last stand. Rearrange the things to take the flight of hand. Burn it to the ground is next on the plan.
Yo, far from an Austin and feel the heat as we start to us leading the fleet like Optimus. Prime time like misogynist on BET. We 3MC, you see between the lines with enemies on both sides. So let the fire shine brightly, burning down the town. And if I get a little charge, let me come back more resourceful like an evolved Charizard. Ashes to ashes with batches of bad matches of flashes. Fantastic like burning battery acid. Spectacular magic can happen when you burn the bad that's trapped in. I ain't talking about rapping, talking supernatural action when we burn it down. Go eat dirt on the microphone, killing MCs like I've been doing for the lyrics. All right.
Pull out the matchbook and grab the gas can. Change your outlook, this is your last stand. Rearrange the things to take the flight of hand. Burn it to the ground is next on the plan. Pull out the matchbook and grab the gas can. Change your outlook, this is your last stand. Rearrange the things to take the flight of hand. Burn it to the ground is next on the plan.
Okay, Royal Ruckus with Burn It to the Ground. All right, let's go to the panel to see what they think about this song. CJ, were you feeling this song, or you shouted it out, or you hitting the mute?
I will shout it out, being a pyro at heart.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Keep the matches of the lock and key around CJ.
I see. You're a pyromaniac. All right.
Being a pyro Art, that was a song that could be a theme song for an organization, I tell you.
Okay. Spitface, what did you think of it?
I'm giving it a shout out. It kind of took me back to Run DMC and Public Enemy. Somewhere in there. And I was checking out the lyrics, and I'm going, they could not have timed that track better. They could not have. I'm almost like, did these boys have a crystal ball? Because they need look, Democrats. This is one of them resistance songs. I'm ready to go get my black tan, my leather jacket. I'm ready to get my leather jacket and my combat boots. Fight the power that be. Fight the power that be. I'm shouting it out.
You shouting it out. Yeah, I might shout it out too. To me, you're right with Run DMC, but it was when they sang with Steven Tyler's song group. It's like, to me, hip hop meets heavy metal. That's what it sounded like to me. But it sounded good. I mean, the music was on point, and like you said, the words they was going to fight. Like you said, fight the power. So I'm definitely shouting it out. That's called "Burn It to the Ground" from Royal Ruckus. We'll see. We'll have more from Royal Ruckus. I'm excited to see what they're going to do on part 2 of Shout Out. And speaking of being excited, is that the sound of my favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
They call him Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he. And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder, flying there under the sea.
All right, it's time for Flip It, where I host defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. James Harden is playing at an MVP level, and so is Kawhi Leonard. Now, if it comes down to these two players, who should be the MVP? I mean, I know there are others, but if it comes down to them, we're asking the panel to defend Harden far and away over Kawhi. Now, the bearded one has, the bearded one has proven that he needed to have gotten the hell up out of Oklahoma. How sometimes somebody leave a team and they think that they are an elite superstar, and they may be a superstar, but not an elite superstar. And James Harden, the bearded one, he just been doing the damn thing. And I get Kyrie been coming on, but Harden just been driving the whole season. So I do not think a late season burst by Kawhi will, be able to push Harden out of the way, because he been doing it game one. Now, the other thing is that it is time to allow a beard to win. It has been years since the NBA has had a bearded MVP. And I think it's time to, stop the discrimination and allow, a man who wants his chin, his chin flocks to flout MVP. CJ, over to you. Defend Harden over Kawhi Leonard.
Well, I would defend Harden over Kawhi only because he's almost done everything in a game, like you said, even a triple-double, almost every time. So therefore, I would say that would be the reason why he would be the MVP. But then when you look at that little Kohai, I always pronounce his name wrong, he's able to play both offensive and defensive. So that's got to have some marks there too on his ability to be agile and flexible. So it's going to be tough to see who actually gets it. Because like you said, Hardy should get it because maybe he's been around a little longer. But that Leonard guy, he's just quick.
All right, we heard the defense from CJ out of Chicago. How them ribs going up in Chi-Town?
Oh, they still smoking.
I've been trying to get the producers to, like lay us out. I like they got the little donuts and rolls and fruit and stuff for us in the mimosa. But sometimes a brother needs some meat on the plate. A little sausage steak, some breakfast ribs. But First Lady defense Harden far and away over Kawhi.
Of course, James Harden is far deserving of the MVP over Kawhi, because he is the vocal point and the playmaker for the Rockets. I mean, he scores, he provides the assists. I mean, the Rockets, without James Harden, they would be a lottery team. And you're right, I said it. With James Harden, the bearded one, the Houston Rockets would be a lottery team. The Spurs wouldn't win a championship contender without Kawhi, but they still would be in the playoffs because, Kawhi has better players around him than Harden. I mean, the Spurs are basically the same team each year with Kawhi, but the Rockets have been special with a transformed James Harden. I mean, the bearded one has taken his game to a new level, and I mean a new level, and he has been consistent the entire season. He scores. Just like CJ said, he's like a walking triple-double. Now, he doesn't get as many as Russell Westbrook, but look, he doesn't have to do everything like Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook shoots the ball too much. But anyway, that's besides the point. James Harden has played the ultimate position at point guard. I have to give D'Antoni some credit because he put him to be a point guard, and that has changed the bearded one's whole perspective on the game. Now, Kawhi, he's starting to get great. He's like you said, Spitface. He's starting to show why he's in the contention for the MVP. But he's great. But the bearded one has been spectacular this year. He's definitely the MVP.
All right, we heard the defense, but this is flipping, where we flip the script and defend the opposing side of view. So we're flipping the script. Panel defend, the bearded loses to Kawhi. Now, I had to look at this, and I'm going, wait just a minute here. Kawhi ain't been BSing around with his almost 27 points a game and almost 6 rebounds a game, and he be assisting all over the place. Now, so he ain't messing around. Now, but the biggest reason is because they all up in the Warriors behind. Now, Harden has been fantastic. Durant has been fantastic. But which team has had the player to move them to where they within striking distance of the Warriors? Last time I looked, the Spurs is a game and a half back, and that game and a half back being that close is because of the heroics of Kawhi Leonard. That's right. The heroics of Kawhi Leonard. The man has been playing like he obsessed. You look at that and you go, wait just a minute. Didn't they lose Tim Duncan? Okay, I mean, I know the big fundamental got old, but he did. He got old and, went on and retired. And if anything, Leonard said, look, throw the burden on me. I'll be the big guy. I'll take the weight. And the most valuable player, he contributes the most to having the system that I say the greatest coach. No, it ain't that guy who trying to be a fall president in New York, Popovich system. And that's the thing, the bearded one. Hey, my man got the skills, but how well does he run the system so that team is looking like a threat to the Warriors? Now, I don't know about that. Because when it comes crunch time, I put it like this. Big players play big in big games. Some of them get greedy. Mm-hmm. We got to see. Kawhi, it's your MVP. CJ, Kawhi over the bearded one, defend.
Like I said before, he can do offensive, defensive. He's quick. He's hungry. I think that when you say the bearded one, well, okay, yes, he's brought it every game. But that endurance, is he going to be able to keep it up? Do you really think so? Those are just my questions. It's always good in the beginning. It's the end when it really counts. And I think that Leonard has a little bit hunger in him to keep it up than Harden right now. But on the flip side of that, he has more experience, Harden, and he has more reasons to want it than Leonard. So for him to keep his momentum up, keep his stamina, not get hurt, trying to do something stupid, he'll end up being the MVP. And then it'll just have to wait till next year.
All right, well, we got the defense from CJ. First Lady, defense.
Well, the problem with Kawhi Leonard, he's quiet. He's so humble. So he doesn't appear to be a superstar. But Kawhi is the real deal. He is definitely the real deal. Harden is having a great season. I'm not taking anything away from James Harden, but he's great offensively, but he still can't play defense. Now, Kawhi, he is, as CJ indicated, he is the best two-way player in the game. He can score. He defends the best players on the opposing team. He gets blocks. He steals. I mean, he is the Spurs' leading scorer with even playing defense. Most times you just have one player that they can play great defense, but they can't do offense, or they're a great offensive player, they can't play defense. But this man does it on both ends of the floor. Now, Harden can't do what Kawhi does for the Spurs because, when the playoffs start, you'll see why Kawhi is the MVP compared to James Harden. Because when those teams, they have, they can start preparing for one team at a time. And you know what happens with Mike D'Antonio teams? They do well in the regular season, but when it comes to that playoff, you can stop offense, but you don't have defense, you don't play defense. And Kawhi is the MVP because he gets the job done on both ends of the court. And the bearded one, man, he just trips over his beard while playing defense.
It's a beard tripping. All right,
it's a beard trip.
On that note, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
Beard tripping.
You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. Spitface, over to you.
CJ, First Lady. Now, sometimes we have funny. Sometimes we have ridiculous. Sometimes we have need to grow. But every now and then, well, I'm okay. Let's just get to it. Brave Wisconsin woman pulls jaw from skunk's head. A heroic Wisconsin woman stepped in to help when authorities told her they were unable to rescue a a little skunk with a glass jar stuck on his little head. Brandy McNeil posted a video to Facebook showing the skunk she encountered in Iowa County with a glass jar stuck on his little head. McNeil said she decided to take action personally Tuesday after she contacted the State Department of Natural Resources, and they told her no one was available to help. The video shows McNeil approach the skunk and pull on the glass jar, which is firmly lodged on the animal's head. Now, her video missed the moment the jar finally came loose. Quote, I'm bummed I didn't get the jar actually popping off his little head. It literally made a sound. So happy this little skunk can continue on with his shenanigans. The video ends with the skunk running off without spraying McNeil, an apparent sign of his gratitude.
Wow.
No tomato juice needed.
Well, he didn't spray her.
Yeah, he didn't. The little skunk, the little head. All right, and a big shout out to Brandy McNeil. Hey, Brandy, for being heroic. And now we just had International Women's Day, so I'm glad that women all over I like me some women in school in my book. I know a few women. My mama a woman, but I like So I say that we need International Women's Day every day. Now, fellas, look, y'all done screwed up everything so bad. Come out. Maybe it is just time. Like let them work it out. You ever watch the women? They be working stuff out and everything. Maybe it's time for men. Men, take a break. Take a break. Them running things. Sometimes, yes, ma'am. Go work with. Yes, ma'am. And now, if you want them rich billionaire women, I can be your boy toy. No problem. This is 2017. All right, now, gosh darn, the water splashing on you. It must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It. Now, there is a lot happening during the free agent frenzy. We looked at all the moves, and, what's Tony Romo, who he gonna go, and, what's going to, RG3 been cut, Kirk cut. It's just been, Brandon Marshall flapping his wings over to the But we were wondering something else. And we wondered who is the biggest free agent bust of all time. Now, is it Albert Haynesworth, him last seen flopping on the ground, playing against Dallas, like a beached whale, or Brock Osweiler? Panel defend. Brock still has a chance to redeem himself. Fat Albert was pathetic and the worst. CJ defend. Fat Albert was the worst.
He is the worst. He's the most pathetic. We just have to feel sad for him and hope that he can get it together on his knees and get to AANA or something so that he can feel better about himself. And maybe then he'll be a better player. Brock Osweiler, well, he just didn't get blamed for everything. That's the only reason why he's not the biggest free agent bust, because he always has somebody else to blame it on. So he'll just keep doing what he's doing and say, well, it wasn't really me. It was sort of like me. So you don't have to worry. Do better next time.
All right, you heard the defense from CJ. When you looking at Brock Osweiler and looking at Albert Haynesworth, what makes them big, in competitions for the biggest free agent bust is the amount of money that they got versus the performance they put on the field.
But they
now when I look at Albert Hainsworth and Brock Osweiler, I'm going,
Spitface?
Well, it seems like we're having some technical difficulty. We lost Spitface.
We
So,
firstly.
we sure did. So, you know what? Let me go on with this situation with Brock Osweiler. You know, hey, you know, Fat Albert, you know, he was one of the biggest busts of all time. You know, he signed CJ, you know, he signed $100 million contract for 7 years, and $41 million was guaranteed money in 2009. I mean, that was big in 2009 to have guaranteed money. Now, years later, Fat Albert, Albert Hainsworth, he wrote a letter to his younger self for the Players Tribune, and he said he lost the passion for the game once he signed his contract. He lost the passion for the game. The media inflated his value, and the Washington Redskins took the bait and gave him that ridiculous contract. But you want to know something? He is definitely the bust, because at least Brock Osweiler, he still has a chance to prove the pundits wrong. You know, he is still playing. He needs to make significant strides this year to remove that bust label from his name. But it's over for Albert Hainsworth. He'll never play a game, and he will never live down that $100 million contract that he never lived up to. I mean, never. Hey, Spitface is back with us, but you know, Spitface, we know Fat Albert. Hey, he's just a terrible player. That was the bust of all time. Definitely.
And one thing that we do have to qualify is Albert Hainsworth. We are not saying that, you know, you have any relationship to Bill Cosby. Panel. Of course, we had to flip the script. Panel defend. Albert Hainsworth can breathe a sigh of relief because Brock took his spot as the biggest free agent bust. Yeah, Albert can kick back a little bit and go, you know, there's someone has finally moved me. Yeah, I got the $100 million deal, but I didn't collect that $100 million. This guy gonna collect all of his money because of the way. Now, one thing I gotta hand it to Brock, that boy was his agent, his peoples. Whoo, they saw the Texans coming. Said we got some swamp land, right outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin. You think that y'all need to look at, and sold them some sour cheese. Now, one thing is, and I ain't gonna hate on the Texans, but they did make the worst free agent deal. And if you make the worst free agent deal, you'd have made, you got the worst. The player, no matter what he does, he's the biggest free agent bust. Now, the only redemption Brock can have is he can possibly redeem himself as a player. That he ended up being a really top backup. He might end up that way. And people forget about, they ain't gonna never forget about how the Texans got jacked over and stuff. Texas got, it was almost, I put it like this. I almost want to talk to the Broncos and see if they got coaching and direction from President Donald Trump. Because that was definitely a hoodoo move. CJ. Albert can breathe a sigh of relief because Brock Osweiler took his spot as the biggest free agent bust. Defend.
I think that maybe he took his place, but he didn't do as much damage to his character as he did. Because Albert, you know, he got that big deal, and I think that because of his influence in other social areas, he just couldn't make the right decisions. And therefore, I don't think that they're in the same categories. Because once you start toughing and smoking and sniffing, you don't have a good mind to yourself. And not 100 million or 100 pennies is going to make any difference.
All right, you heard the defense from CJ. Of course, Albert Engler's biggest habit was eating. And First Lady, Albert can breathe a sigh of relief with his fat ass. Because Brock took his spot.
When it comes to linemen, it's easy to make mistakes regarding a player's potential. And trust me, the Washington team, they made a mistake. However, when it comes to quarterback position, you need to be spot on with determining quarterback's worth. And Brock Osweiler is not worth a penny, and I mean a penny of that 4-year, $72 million contract he signed. But like you said, he's going to get every bit of it. You know, he had a QBR of 55.3. He was ranked 22nd in the league, which I'm shocked. Seems like he should have been ranked lower than 22nd, but let's look at the numbers. He only played five games.
First lady.
Yeah.
That meant that there are 10 quarterbacks he beat out?
Yes. Can you believe that? I couldn't believe it either. But he only played 5 games.
Lady, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna go on bluntly speaking tonight. I'm gonna have to put the weed down. Wait,
yeah, and believe it or not, he beat out Cam Newton. My gosh, I couldn't believe that. But he only played 5 games, so that's still pathetic. In 5 games, to have a 55.3 QBR. But anyway, Houston, they were so desperate to get rid of this man to correct the mistake of signing him that they just recently traded him to the Browns for a 2nd and 6th round draft pick, and the Texans received the 4th round draft pick. I mean, the Browns have no intention of using him either, even though they need a quarterback, but they don't have intentions of using him. That's when you're bad, if you think about it. When a team needs a quarterback, but the only reason why the team traded for you is because they wanted a 2nd round pick. Because in the NFL, you can't buy draft picks. So the Browns, they came up with a slick way of getting a draft pick. They bought his contract, and they have no intentions on using him. So, man, that's when you're a bust. You know, when you're a bust like that you a team that needs a quarterback, they don't want you, and they're going to probably release you or trade you again. Man, Osweiler, be thankful for that money, because you sure going to have to do a lot to build up your reputation as a quarterback again.
Well, First Lady gets the last word. Please take us to break.
The other side of the break, we have another performance from Royal Ruckus on Shout Out. Please stay tuned.
Rock.
Rock the
Listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks and the finale. I'm here with the First Lady of Sports Talk, Antoinette Cheryl Spitface. I got CJ hanging out there in Chicago, man. And look, y'all, don't be sending no more little tweets talking about she and Shy-Rock. Look, we saw. She ain't in Chirac. She's in Chicago. You know? So, you know, I'm from Chicago. That's it, Chicago. So, you know, y'all, if you ain't from Chicago, you ain't got no. We can say stuff about Chicago. Hey, CJ, when's the last time you went stepping?
Did you say went stepping?
Yeah, when's the last time you went stepping?
Actually, last week.
Oh, sucky. All right,
yeah.
All right. Were you doing the old school stepping, or did y'all mix it in with like some of that house?
Well, you know, I'm old school. You know, we always do that freestyle.
Oh, sucky now. Okay, all right, Twinkle Toes. Okay, but and on that note, the music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the first lady and the crew. Over to you.
We have another performance from Royal Ruckus with their album, The Summer of the Cicadas. All right, DJ, let's hear Waitress. What he got going on with a waitress? All right.
Just leaning on the bar, mind on my own. When she kicked up a cyclone, at the rat tap tap full box, just long enough to see she my type. Out of nowhere, hit a woman a date. She was flinging out scents and handing out plates. Had a way with words, had a way with pints, had a way with thick sandwiches, bored as life. She looked so great in her outerwear, and the way she smiles, have my mind repaired. Dropped that apron like she just don't care. New edition Bobby Brown, button as a flare. That road she was so intrigued, and every word flowed smooth like she was singing. Lisa, Angela, Pamela, Renee, happens all the happy hours round my way. Now I'm aware of what you do, thinking I might take the cue. Few more minutes till I work the nerve to get the digits. Hey waitress, I'm feeling butterflies every time you ask to take this order as I practice my lines. As this could be bliss, we sip on rum and coke extra lime. Oh, we could pop Chris, I paid for bottle service with dimes. Couldn't get her off my mind, couldn't get her off my brain. When I slept the dreamt she was a mental hurricane. Little Novocaine to the pain in my heart that it fit every line was a brand new start. One night I slept with art in a wink and a nod. I would be the seed and she'd be the pod. Made a love note in the gym sidewalk shop right there at the pub at the front of the block. Wasn't trying to stop, just wanted her to see I'm cute, I'm sweet, I'm Chun Jamie. Just called in sick. Now my sweet honeybee is a waiter named Rick. Felt kinda ick, I was aiming for the dream. A little Siamese cream type team. Wouldn't be a thing, couldn't scale relation from tipping to giving my entire vexation. Leaving little notes on cars, writing songs on my guitars. Clueless, those are useless, so my head is stuck among the stars. Now I'm aware of how you do, thinking if I took the cue. Few more minutes till I work the nerve to text those digits. Hey waitress, I'm feeling butterflies every time you ask to take this order as I practice my lines. And this could be bliss, we sip on rum and coke extra lime. Oh, we could pop Chris, I paid for bottle service with dimes. Shimmy, yeah. Brought tacos to the bar on Valentine's Day. Wanted to make her smile, wanted to make her say,
this love written sound just like a screenplay.
Right on the set, cause the tacos are here. Squash it down with a pint of beer.
These are kinda nice, I am impressed.
I said without thinking, let's be friends and kiss. Please I'd like to try, like a chance for this. Hold your hand 5 beers like a modern princess. Waitress to Ruckus, a few easy steps on how good you are, but how good you want to dress. I fall for all the ladies working at the bar, serving taking orders, got tips and jars. The only problem is it rarely works out. Just another guy throwing tips and stout. Swiping left or right and thinking I might switch to Sprite. Few more minutes till I work the nerve to text those digits. Hey waitress, I'm feeling butterflies every time you ask to take this order as I practice my lines. And this could be bliss, we sip on rum and coke extra lime. Oh, we could pop Chris, I paid for bottle service with dimes. Gina, Julie, Jordan, Marie. I'd like to thank you for the drinks that were free. Kathy, Connie, Brittany, Benny. How about we rent a Lamborghini? Ashley, Alexis, Erica, Katie. Like to buy each you a brand new Mercedes. Rob, Rachel, Molly, Denise. Why don't we rock and roll in a Chevy Capri?
Okay, so they say they really like that waitress. The waitress. Let's go to the panel. Spitface, what did you think of the song "Waitress"?
Some blueberry pancakes with a side of cheesy eggs, some hash browns, and a slice of pineapple.
Mm.
Now I'm gonna give it a shout out. I just kind of like the little groove that they in, so I'm gonna roll with it. I'm shouting it out.
You shouted at. All right. Spit. I'm sorry, he's supposed to spit. CJ. What did you think of Waitress?
I'm going to give her a shout out too. Those are my favorite ladies because they can always give you what you need without a whole lot of talk.
Right. We give you what you need. All right. So what you need, CJ? You need some food, I guess. All right. Give you what you need without a whole bunch of talk. I mean, I'm going to give the song a shout. It has a catchy little beat to it, like you said. Spit, they in the groove. I mean, I'll probably be humming that song all day today. Waitress.
Yeah.
You know, it sticks in your head. It's just something about it. I mean, it's not spectacular regarding the lyrics, but it is a nice little beat to it. So anyway, we're going to shout it out. So that was the end of Shout Out. If you like what you heard from Royal Ruckus, you can check them out at summerofthecicadas.com. Summerofthecicadas.com. If you like what you heard or have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. Well, again, the picks are on a little hiatus. We'll be starting our hardwood picks in about a week. The producers have decided that they wanted to kick it off near the beginning of the March Madness to make it spicy. So we'll see. All right, so it's time for our outrageous predictions for the week. CJ, what is your outrageous predictions for the week?
Northwestern takes the Big Ten.
Northwestern takes the
That's
Big
right.
Ten. You know what?
There's
so many journalists are so happy about Northwestern because, you know, that's one of the most prestigious journalism school, and you don't expect them to play well in basketball. So, yeah, that's going to be very outrageous, and if they can win.
More times.
Spitface, what's your outrageous prediction for the week?
I'm not outrageously predicting Northwestern, but Northwestern has had some competitive teams, basketball teams in the Big Ten over the years, and you know, competitive. They've been known to ball. They've had a few ballers, and but my outrageous prediction is, and it's a March Madness prediction, is that once the madness starts, the 4 top-ranked teams will end up in the Final Four.
Okay, the four top teams will end up in the Final Four. So that means all the first seeds will end up in the Final Four.
Yep, and that has not happened in a while. I say that's my prediction.
Oh, okay, all right. So my prediction of the week is the UCL guard, Alonzo Ball. You know, the one that his father says is better than Stephen Curry. You know, he said his son is better than Stephen Curry. Well, my outrageous prediction is he is going to stumble in the tournament. That's my outrageous prediction. He's going to stumble in the tournament. He's not all that. Okay. So anyway, let's get to our empowerment message of the week. And today's message comes from the fabulous, I mean, she's a darn good actress. She's an Oscar winner. She's an Emmy winner. And she's a Tony winner. And she really wanted to win a Grammy. She can do that, too, for spoken word or something. We're talking about Viola Davis. And her quote is, "Do not live someone else's life and someone else's idea of what womanhood is. Womanhood is you. Womanhood is everything that's inside of you." I love me some Viola Davis. So anyway, well, Before we end the show, we're going to have a poetic performance. And this has been Cheryl Smith along with CJ and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.
Wet, dreaming. I am not the one, but one of the ones, son, sent here by my father. Spill my thoughts like water. And if I can get at least one of you in here to sip this liquid light I'm dripping, then that means I'm getting in wherever I'm fitting in this poetic class system, caste system, deep blue sea. I didn't even choose the name, y'all. The name chose me, so now I be multiple personality existing in duality, taking this skin I'm in or spins through reality. I'm kind of frustrated by life's aesthetics and brutalities, but I'm glad I've got a gift to release through, or else I'd be a can of whoop-ass and mentality. Sometimes I feel like more of an outcast than the boys from ATL. Sometimes my own mama don't relate to me too well, and I spent 8 months short of mine doing fetal meditation time in her amniotic swell cell, sucking on my fingers before they even had nails. From the same watery womb as Neptune, I use sonar to detect kindred spirits and deflect doom and damnation. I'm a former constellation, having fallen into an aquatic situation, somewhat like a cetacean, propelled by flute and fin, releasing massive blasts of liquid light and the dark gas. I breach only to speak then, dive down deep with the assistance of current eye, creeping and vibe all day with black-skinned mermaids, African sea queens, liquid love slaves, gliding through heaven's halo rings on the backs of jet black stingrays. I'm no whale or dolphin. I'm thought enclosed in a cranial cave, submerged below brain waves. Too deep for some to swim with. Minds occupied by dumb shit, can't get with this. Minds occupied by their own dumbness, can't even hold their breath in concentration long enough for the inflation of consciousness. He's the fisher of men, we're all fish. Folks in search of happiness and the fulfillment of wish. And the greatest wish of all ghetto-born fish is equality and reparational bliss. But do you really think they're going to give us reparations when the ones that owe it to us are trying to build space stations and playstations to keep us distracted while they laugh at how many cases of AIDS we've contracted? We're the favorite food fish for all special occasions like exploitation, degradation, segregation, brutalization, Miss Evers Boyd type experimentation, and dirty Southern Caucasian cotton plantations. Stuff like that made us vicious, mad fishes, wishing for stuff we never had. Fish, blowfish, crack, smack, blowfish, dogfish, hopefish. Spirits like that don't want to evolve into a new astral species. They rather flew where they live with the fumes of mental feces. There must first be evolution. There must first be evolution. There must first be evolution before revolution. Somebody boil some water because we need some esteem. Take that red pill and wake up from the dream. Follow your spirit, not your appetite for cream. Touch that fish next to you. You might be happy. A wet dream, wet dream.